You played in horror movies. What is it about horror that just, encapsulates the audience?
I believe that, well, one, it's entertaining. And I also get that either you're into horror or totally not. I think it's more like you like sci-fi or you like horror. I think too, just it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster, and it can be exciting to be scared, but it's not real. Real life is scarier than a horror film. Can be.
It can be. So you what role did you really like the most? I mean, you've been in Bill and Ted, Knots Landing, General Hospital for a little bit, the Brady Bunch, Final Days. I mean, your resume is pretty good. Out of all those roles, what was your favorite role?
I have to say, well, Alice Johnson, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, and The Dream Child was just a dream come true because I've loved horror films since I was little. But I would say working with Mark Hamill was pretty awesome in Watchers Reborn. And they did 4 Watchers, based on Dean Koontz's book. And the one we did was the 4th one, also known as Watchers Reborn. And it's the closest one related to the book. And I'm a big Koontz fan. So that was pretty exciting because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I was so nervous the night before, like the night before the first day of school kind of thing. I was like, oh my God, I'm working with Luke Skywalker. Oh my God. And he was a love. He was a doll. And it's a really fun film. Enjoyed that role very much.
You started in theater. Can you, attest to these young people how important or how beneficial it is to start in theater before you even think about, moving on?
Oh my goodness. Like it is the number one best training ground in the world. Because you actually get the experience, unlike TV and film, to actually rehearse and flesh out a character and work with a director and other actors and a live performance. The unexpected will happen and you roll with the punches, So yeah, I highly recommend it. And and I have a degree from UCLA, theater arts, and right out of the gate, I did book General Hospital. Boy, was I glad I had that theater training because soap operas, they move so fast. One take, next scene. One take, next scene. You have to be up on your game, know your lines, know your blocking, and it moves fast. So that's another great training ground too. Soaps.
Soaps. So, the thing is that people don't understand how you have to grow in the industry. It's not like overnight you're going to land Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, it was a process of growth. Can you say anything to that?
Yeah, it was lots of theater and it's hard work. I mean, I'm going to high school and then at night going to rehearsals for plays and equity waiver. It's a lot of work. And you have to be really devoted. And you got to get your chops, you got to learn. And even when I was going to UCLA full time in theater arts, I was studying 3 nights a week, Grotowski, outside of UCLA. So yeah, you'll find out real quick if you're cut out for it or not. Because it's hard work, guys. Acting it's hard work. But it's a blast. My favorite place on earth is being on set, quite frankly, or on a stage.
You work with other stars such as Will Ferrell, Robert Englund, Mark Hamill. I mean, these are really, really stars, very seasoned professionals.
George Clooney. Before he became the George Clooney that we know, before he did ER, which is pretty much what got him on the map. But yeah. What you were saying, yes.
I was just saying, did you get anything from working with these guys? Any tidbits or I mean, George Clooney, of course, it was before he's the George that we know now. But working with these individuals, is there anything that you tapped into with them?
The thing is, it's about just be nice, and I've had wonderful experiences in all of my episodic, sitcoms, soap operas, theater, film. and it's be down to earth. You know, you hear occasionally stories that people are uppity or whatever. I fortunately have not had those experiences, but it's just be cool, man. You know, even if you're the star of the show or whatever, be cool.
Do you still get nervous when you go out there and you audition, like the first time, or has experience really quelled a lot of the jitters?
Oh, I'll still get nervous. Absolutely. When you have a room full of people and first time you've done the scene, auditioning the scene, working with another actor you've just met for 30 seconds. I still will get nervous. In fact, earlier in my career, I would do an audition and nail it, just felt the part in my bones and would not be nervous. But oftentimes I would be nervous to where my agent said, "Okay, Lisa, what is going on?" The casting director said, "You're nervous and your lips were quivering." So I would say my lips don't quiver anymore when I audition, but fortunately, due to a lot of, big body of work now, believe me, just getting an offer to do a part is a lot easier.
I'm going over your resume, and you portray characters so well that you actually jump. You jump on the Monopoly board. You play Utah and Star Trek Next Generation, and you actually hit the Monopoly board with your portrayal. How do you tap into that character, and what made it so special?
I love that you brought up Next Gen. Just read the script, and I just knew this character, and I would say on that audition, I was not nervous. I felt very solid in my choices as an actor for playing Utah. And, and that's a prolific show, man. And so to even get that audition was pretty exciting. And a lot of people auditioned for that. And then to land on the Monopoly board, are you kidding? I mean, they must have had hundreds of guest stars over their course of the seasons. And that was a real honor. I would say to my mom, well, I don't have a star on Hollywood Boulevard, but I'm on the Next Gen Monopoly board, known as the assassin.
All right, so let's get into this new show you got going on here, Séance with the Queens. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, it is guided by this amazing psychic medium, Sarah, who is, boy, oh boy, the real deal. What she knew about people and those who had passed on to the other side blew my mind. My experience was that she saw two men standing next to me, and there were two men that had passed away, other than my grandfather. And determined one was Tony, who was a very serious boyfriend I had for 4 years, from when I was about 18 to 22 years old. And he was about maybe 8 years older than I was. But anyway, she said, well, Tony says, here's looking at you, kid. The famous line from Casablanca. There's no way no one could have known that he used to say that to me. No one could have known that. So it's just a fascinating show. And what an experience.
You talk a little bit about your mom and her influence in your life and the things that you've gone through. How important is it to have someone like that in your corner to support you through everything?
Oh my gosh, my mom. I miss her so much. She just died about 3 years ago. Boy, she would drive me to, before I could drive, to rehearsals. I did a play, in ninth grade, and we lived about 14 miles from school. And she would drive me and pick me up. She would pick me up every day for a month. Oh my goodness, God bless her. And my folks were very, very supportive of my acting, but they did say, and I had done more work when we moved to California, and they just said, but we want you to get a college degree. And I said, okay. So I went to UCLA and got a theater arts degree.
I mean, I have a teenage daughter. Were you a terror as a teenage daughter, or were you really receptive to advice and the teachings of your parents?
I was a good kid. I really was, and my parents are phenomenal. So no, I really I think too what kept me out of trouble really was doing theater. To tell you the truth, because it requires a lot of rehearsals and memorizing lines and a lot of devotion. So that definitely kept me out of trouble.
Always good to have that distraction, especially during those teenage years.
Yeah, definitely. Or whether it be sports or theater or whatever, it's like, finding something you love to do that does not include, drinking and getting high, so anyway,
That's
what I feel.
What advice would you have to the young ladies out there, future scream queens, in regards to getting into the business?
I would say you go see theater, watch all kinds of films, from comedy to drama to horror to sci-fi. Go to concerts, not just rock concerts, but go see the Philharmonic. Just expose yourself to opera. Anything you can lay your hands on, even reading books and immerse yourself in characters in the book. Just that variety, I believe, just opens the door to being able to play many kinds of characters. So,
if you were to go back in time and see young Lisa at in 8th grade, what would you tell her?
Oh my goodness. I'd say, don't worry, you're going to get braces at one point. And I was really a tomboy. Didn't wear makeup or anything. And I saw girls around me who were like totally boy crazy. That's a distraction from yourself and what you're passionate about, So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything. I'm looking forward to seeing your new venture here, Séance. Séance with the queens, scream queens, and all types. And anything you want to tell the audience about the Séance that you can share?
Yeah, no, you can see it now. And again, it's if you didn't believe, I already did believe because I had a poltergeist experience, truly poltergeist experience. But just have an open mind. She's Sarah's great.